What a beautiful spot to kick off our week. Monday morning, Kelowna, BC. There is Lake Okanagan in the distance as the Montana's Brier continues to roll right here on TSN. So much to enjoy about Kelowna. You have the golf, you have the winery, skiing, but this week it's all about the top curling, Montana's Brier, and our feature, Dunstone, Epping. A battle of some brothers here. You got the Horgans, you have the Harndens, and that's next on TSN. As always, glad you're watching our coverage. Come on inside the building. Brian Mudrick, Kathy Gauthier with you on the morning show. Beautiful weather outside right now, about 10 degrees since we arrived in Kelowna, but ice conditions can always be a bit of a factor. We've seen a little bit of frost. What have you seen so far?
Well, I've seen some terrific curling, and the curl is certainly there, but there has been frost. Greg Owasco brought in 4 dehumidification systems yesterday. 3 are in play, and it's made a difference already. It should be brilliant by tonight.
Well, Mike McEwen is here, and he's brought with him some great shots from last year. Remember, now playing for Saskatchewan, made the final last year, this year, last night. A great shot versus Ontario.
Well, so much discussion. Is this shot even there? These stones are so flat, but he takes it on, gets enough oomph to scooch that far enough for the 2.
He said playing for Saskatchewan, especially last year and making that final against Brad Gushue, one of the highlights of his career. Well, the highlight reel continues here 1 year later, and one of the few guys in that team has remained the same from last year. They went 8-4. Scoffin, 7-5 for Yukon over Owen Purcell and Nova Scotia. You know, Felix Asselin starting to find his game now with Jean-Michel Menard, 7-5 over PEI, and Brad Jacobs. That is not a typo. That is 20-2, and that's the most in a game since the playoff era started at this event back in 1980. You know the story. Top 3 in each pool qualify for the playoffs. Pool A, the usual suspects, Gushue, Dunstone, Carruthers. Great starts. John Epping there as well. We feature him this morning. On the other side, McEwen, Jacobs still undefeated. Matt Dunstone is an absolute star in curling in Canada right now. He's always knocking on the door, Kathy, when he comes to these events. Made a final a couple years ago. 2 bronze medals as well. The #1 team in the country and one of the few teams that's made a roster shuffle, and it's worked out very nicely for them.
Well, he's the only team that's made a roster shuffle that the numbers will show have gotten better. And a lot of that is about reuniting 2 brothers back. For Matt, no question that he's a great player. We've seen that over the years. E.J. Harnden, one of the best in the world, released from Team Gushue, but the magic of the brothers. We heard EJ say a couple years ago that Ryan is not only my brother, he's my best friend. There is magic on this team.
The team from Northern Ontario acquiring John Epping. He's the skip, he's their leader. And what he said is that Tanner Horgan has done so much work to adjust his game, allowing his brother to move up to 3rd.
Well, and Jacob is the big key for this team. He played for his brother his whole life. He was a 3rd. He went up to skip, but he has found his niche on this team, and it allows brother Tanner, who has worked so hard on fitness, to sweep. You will see great brushing today.
Both teams off to great starts, and for Matt Dunstone, he now lives in Kamloops, about a 2-hour drive from here, so he's hoping for maybe some BC support if they get rolling this year in Kelowna at the Montana's Brier. First draw coming up next on TSN.
The 2025 Montana's Brier is presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar, proudly Canada's home for barbecue since 1995. By PointsBet, the official sportsbook and casino partner of Curling Canada. By New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada. And by BKT Tires, growing together.
Glad you're with us on this Monday morning. Awesome to be back in Kelowna for the Men's Curling Championship here. It is Northern Ontario taking on the team out of Manitoba, led by Matt Dunstone. It is time to meet the teams, brought to you by Home Hardware. Here's how. It is Ryan Harnden, reunited with brother E.J. Harnden on this team. Colton Lott at 3rd, and of course the skip is Matt Dunstone, who now calls Kamloops home. Team Northern Ontario, out of the Northern Credit Union Community Center in Sudbury, Ian McMillan, Tanner Horgan, Jacob Horgan, and the skip, the new guy, John Epping. They call him Papa John on this team as he's the leader. There's your rock colors this morning. It's Dunstone. He'll be throwing the red rocks for John Epping, the yellow stones. So again, the draw to the button. Look how close that is. Good
numbers.
3 centimeters, the difference. So Northern Ontario, the advantage. They earn the hammer. Remember, there's no tie-breaking games. It's first your head-to-head matchup and then those last stone draw numbers. That is critical. And they've been really close, at least Kathy, in our features in the morning draw. 10 centimeters yesterday morning, around 3 centimeters today. As we're officially underway, lead stones coming from Ryan Harnden.
Well, these draw to the button results are so important, as for what you said, but it also tells you that the two people that are throwing, because it is one clockwise, one counterclockwise for each team, really have a good handle on draw weight, and we're starting to see that evidenced in the first end because the precision is there. Ian from Manitoba has been for a long time and now had a chance to join this team.
Yeah, looks light. Oh, no, it's close. Do your thing. Get to his room.
It's really curling now, boys.
Yep. Gotta go.
Really curling here. Hard.
So now you have in our feature 2 sets of brothers on the brush. And in talking with John Epping before this championship began, you know, he really gave a lot of credit to Tanner Horgan, who we saw come up through junior, Kathy. He skipped for a long time. And he said that Tanner's the type of guy, if you give him a job or you give him a challenge, he's going to work hard at it. He's adapted greatly. He commits. He's been all in, and that's a big reason why they've had some nice chemistry and success this year playing as a team for the very first time with John, the new addition.
Got to go right to stop. You're right to stop on this line, Colton. Come on, buddy. Go, 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 go.
Shot.
Hey, it's shot, Pete.
Wait.
14-9.
And pretty straight.
Now, most of that stone still exposed, and so a good time to chase.
Easy, won't. Room up.
John is the curling pro at the Granite Club in Toronto. He was a big part of our coverage on TSN, Curling Day in Canada, as the Tankard was there. Bob Weeks, Lindsay Hamilton. Always a fun event to celebrate our great game.
Shot. 10-5.
And this is the new addition. Well, he's not new to us. We've seen EJ for a long time. Of course, came through wearing those jackets out of Northern Ontario, playing with Brad Jacobs. Success with him, winning the Olympic medal, and then, of course, winning a couple times with Brad Gushu. Let go from that team. And in talking to Matt Dunstone, he admitted, Kathy, they probably don't let BJ Neufeld go if they didn't realize that EJ'd be available. He was. He joins the team. EJ's kind of found that spark again, playing, as you talked about off the top, his best friend and brother Ryan. And it has been seamless getting them back together again.
Well, brothers don't have a lot of effort in getting to know each other. Plus, they played together with that very successful Brad Jacobs team. So it was like putting on an old shoe. And here is Tanner. If you had a before and after picture of Tanner when he skipped in juniors, his commitment to physical fitness and being so strong out there, just huge props to him.
Kathy, let's start with our keys to the game, and let's begin with this young man who's found the podium 3 times at the Brier, Matt Dunstone.
Well, sometimes Matt looks too far ahead. He needs to plan to play the 10 ends. He can play some really high-risk shots for threes when a 2 is going to give you control of a game and a lot of help. Well, Colton Lott, in moving up when the vacancy happened on this team with BJ, it is a long-time relationship from juniors. He's going to be such an assist to Matt. Well, and for John Epping, sometimes he waits a little bit too long for a bail point, which forces him into a hero shot, and those shots are not made all the time. So bail earlier, and the take a breath is for Jacob Horgan. His numbers have been high as 86, 79, 86, and it is the big weight he has to dial back just that little bit.
Keys to the game brought to you by Scotty's Facial Tissue. Unleash the Scotties.
Curl, curl, curl. Hard. Oh, shit.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Not going to be as quick as my path, but
I think like high 14.
like 4 feet more than draw to the button.
Yeah, 4 to 5.
Yeah, 5 feet.
5. Yeah.
So feeling they're going a little bit further out than in draw to the button, that's why they feel it'll be just a little slower for Colton.
And you had mentioned their relationship, Matt and Colton, going back to junior. He talked about how awesome it was to reunite the brothers. Well, he says Colton is my brother. That's how close they are. And to have the team dynamics and the chemistry that they've had. And Kathy, we talked about it. They are, to your point, one of the few teams that made a big change, and the analytics and the numbers, you see it, have worked in their favor this year. It's worked out.
They are the only team with the plethora of changes that we have seen, the most ever. The analytics numbers will show that the only team that has improved by adding a player on in terms of numbers and success to this point is this Dunstone team, and so much credit. Colton Flash said it yesterday. You reunited brothers, that's magic.
What do you call it? Control?
8.
Oh, 8. Sorry.
8, yeah. Try and roll both of them over there.
This team had a great run in provincials. They were in Thunder Bay, where we just were for the Scotties. John saying, you know what, a lot of games didn't go past 8 ends. They were clicking. They were happy that the final wasn't close.
This is great if it sits.
Shot, Jake.
And it does. Very nice shot.
And that's the kind of shot making at provincials, Kathy. They've had a really strong season. Matt Dunstone talked about that to me before the competition, that this is a team, this John Epping team, is one they have to really focus in on because they can cause some damage this year.
Yeah. Or we try and make it. You make it that way? No.
No, probably not. No.
I think it's throw 11-5.
Okay.
Well, Colton says
Trust
he can
this will
see a
move.
skinny
You can
third.
get it going.
And watch for EJ to direct this stone if it is hanging out.
Good way.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Girl. Easy. Please,
We
please.
saw Colton a lot, too, in the mixed doubles with his wife, Kadriana. Really successful
Gotta go.
together in that format.
To it. Right to it.
Oh, great brush by EJ to make that stone
buddy.
carve.
Shot, Gold.
It's a great shot. He could see very little, and EJ, it's like he can steer a ship.
Like a first end board weight? Like
Yeah, I think
2
so.
feet past.
This is the 4th one here, though, so it's getting better.
Yeah.
But hair up.
You talk about, sacrifices, and these two brothers, they love the game as much as anyone. And, Jacob moved to Toronto to spend time with Tanner. They were practicing together. John is obviously in Toronto. We talked about it at the Granite Club, and he's a big believer in centralized training. And this shooter,
Might have just been underthrown a bit, or that center, we'll see if they talk about it, is just a little bit sharp still.
I think draw the button.
Where you've been,
I've been
yeah,
giving
and
there
it's
for
kind of
the
tracking a bit, so
My first
I like
shot was
that.
there.
Try, bud.
yeah, John said he sort of was the guy that asked, would you be interested in me? And They were at a mixed doubles event, actually. They had a conversation. John just wanted to know what the goals of this young team were. And he kind of made the pitch to them. What do you want to do? Where are we at? I think it can help. You know, the long-term goal for this team, the Olympic trials, or maybe the next Olympics. But you know what? Let's try to get ready for Halifax now. Let's get ready for the Brier. And all of their conversations and their goals aligned together. It gave John Epping that spark back. And Papa John is now with this team, and it's been a really nice blend.
Great chance for Matt Dunstone early in this game
A little bit for line.
to force John Epping or even to steal, trying to bury around that center guard.
Line's good. Top four. Where is it? Top four. Just fight for it, guys. Pushing T now.
T-line. That's it.
Good.
And Kathy, that's just something you can't buy. You get the Harndens back together. How many Stones in big moments over the years have they called together? You don't have to work on the chemistry. It just falls right back into it, doesn't it?
Brier Olympics.
You get that up for a time?
I got 14-6. So it should be like draw the
That
button.
ran nice for them, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same as draw the button?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or faster?
I don't
no
see it
faster.
getting
You don't
faster
see it
today.
faster? Okay.
Yeah.
Put a clock on this. Well, it's been a long time for John. And one of his big messages in that conversation you talked about, Brian, was that I've played on the tour for a long time. I'm not interested in that. If we're not prepared to do everything we can to get to the Brier, to get to the trials, or at least the pre-trials, then I'm out. And they said they were on board. That's 14.98. This tells you how quick this surface is.
Little tap and not shot Stone. It is
But-
still shot Rock Dunstone.
In a good position.
You know, and John said to me, Kathy, you know, pre-COVID in those years, he got to #1 in the world for a bit of time, and then it was a low. He said, you know, what am I going to do with my curling career? You know, he does a lot of teaching and coaching out of the Granite in Toronto. He'd have been fine to quit and walk away from the game, but these young guys, he said, have elevated me to be back to where I want to be.
Just thinking if we come in,
Here he
it
is at the
makes-
Brier
like
once
if we get
again
to the 8 foot,
in
it makes
Kelowna.
this harder for him, right?
Yeah, but yeah.
Probably
Hey, you get to the 4, it makes this quite.
Like half in the 8 foot?
Yeah.
Is that what you see, half in the 8? You into that?
I think so.
Up here?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want that same ice?
I think we're same ice, Colt.
So for Matt, he wants to go here, and the reason he wants to go there is he knows that John has set that up to play the run back to score 2. So he wants to take that away.
Just half in the 8 feet?
Okay.
I mean,
And also, if he's half in the 8,
good guard both.
it makes John go further
guard both on
outside
the
with the
inside.
outturn if he's going to score.
I like
The
this.
other thing I thought of was if we try and chisel the guard a bit.
I like this.
Okay.
Just
Out
here.
top 8. Take like 2-3 feet off.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit less.
Go ahead then. Tight. We're guard. Okay, go then. Hard. Hard. Hard line. Top 12. Hard line. Keep pushing top 8. Top 12. Keep moving. Hard. Right to stop, guys. Keep going. Keep going, each. Keep going. Come on. Hard, hard, hard. Just top 8. Keep going. Keep going. Easy. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Throw, man.
Kathy, that was outstanding communication right out of his hand.
And it was a great that they changed it. They started to yell guard, and then they realized it was going to go further, and so continue to communicate.
Top 12. Hard line. Keep pushing top 8. Top 12. Keep moving. Hard. Right to stop, guys. Keep going. Keep going, Each.
EJ never lifted his head. He listened to Ryan, he looked, and Ryan kind of gave him that information, and there it is.
And you saw Ryan's head just pivot, 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 look up, figure out where you're going. Great brushing, great communication, both with each other and to the other end where Colton was listening.
70, I think. I was like,
So we know that the ice has big finish. This is a quiet way trying to go through the port and move that Dunstone rock. He can probably see maybe an 8.
Final stone here in 1. John Epping. McMillan trying to hold it, has to get through that little port first. He's by. But that little nudge of the red, and did he move it far enough? I don't think so.
No,
just
I
the
think
steal
it's
of
just
1.
the 1.
They'll take a look as Colton Lott looks it over. I believe a steal of 1. As we're off and running in our feature on this Monday morning at the Montana's Brier. Glad you're with us. It is 1-0 Dunstone. It is the 8th time the Montana's Brier here in the beautiful province of British Columbia. Welcome back to Kelowna, and a steal for Dunstone, 1-0. So here in the second end, once again, it's John Epping out of Northern Ontario. He's got the hammer, throwing the yellow rocks.
Well, and a well-played end by Team Dunstone, and for Epping, a good shot on his first, but Matt took it away. But that second shot, boy, that was close to giving up a 2. A good line call at the end to let it go and curl, to move it thinner across the top and not promote that stone for 2.
Whoa.
Try.
Whoa. Whoa.
Button. T-line.
Broom's up.
T-line.
Broom's up. Good.
Whoa,
4. Coming down.
Whoa.
straight.
Whoa. Whoa.
Straight,
Coming down.
straight.
So right on the nose there for Ian. You mentioned, Kathy, Ian in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
So,
At 14.
and these guys obviously based out of Ontario, so a lot of the times Ian would come and do a spiel a few days early. They could do some training together, and that's kind of the norm for a lot of the imports, right? Like, you just kind of plan your season. How can we work together? And what David Murdoch has done a lot with a lot of the young teams across Canada is releases, really working on releases, helping young teams so that, you know, even if you're training apart, if your release is the same and your skipper knows what to expect, I mean, you can still get a lot of work done, quality work done on your own if you have to.
So really a pull back to the toe, the idea that you're coming out at the same kind of direction, whether you throw a tuck or a flat foot is the rest. The releases, even if they're a little bit different, if you're sliding directly at the broom the same as everybody else, you should get similar results. And so time to blow this up for Tanner.
Yes! Whoa! Yes! Yes! Whoa!
Whoa!
Murdoch, the high-performance director for Curling Canada, does a wonderful job across the country with a lot of these young teams.
What a great shot by Tanner.
So action on draw 7, all 4 sheets in play. Kevin Cooey trying to get on the board against the host province. Cameron DeYoung out of Victoria. Reed Carruthers, what a start at 3-0, taking on James Grattan, who's back. A 1-1 record. It is Nunavut and Newfoundland Labrador. And our feature game, obviously, is Manitoba, Northern Ontario. Brad Gushu looking for a record 7th title all time. His team has the bye on this Monday morning.
Whoa! 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 Curl! Whoa! No roll!
What are we doing? Hey, good try.
That little tap, tap, tap was Matt not happy with his call.
I can throw Eid.
I thought he was trying to curl it to the other corner.
Stone fully exposed for Tanner. Would like to use that corner guard that they have and roll underneath. Keep the play away from the center.
Whoa!
Just killing it.
Curl!
Not even killing it.
Curl! Whoa! Straight!
That worked out. Go. Jeez, that side is slow. Oh, wow.
Okay, you heard not even killing it. It's just the speed.
Yeah.
Just underthrown that little bit.
And your scores, you can see a blank
Out turn across.
for BC and Cooey.
Which one do you see?
1-0 James Grattan.
Out turn.
And Nunavut, 1-0 advantage. Shane Latimer, the skip under the Iqaluit Curling Club.
Yep. Real hard. Hard! Hard!
Colton Lott run it back. And the yellow will be shot stone out in the weeds there, 12 foot.
Both teams trading advantages.
Try it, Cole.
Okay, Cole.
It's all good. My corner started running good now.
Okay, I think I'm throwing like same as my draw the button.
Yep, I love that throw, yeah.
Chance to split the house.
Easy.
Hair layered, draw the button.
Easy.
Line's good.
We're definitely not heavy.
Tanner just leaning on it at first, trying to extend the life of that stone.
Yeah, hard.
Good.
And a nice job there to split the house, line the two.
When you take a look at these two teams and the differences, so the games played together, wow, that leaps out of the board. The Epping team, so many reps. Now, keeping in mind, the 20 for Dunstone is with the addition of EJ and the record, but look at the winning percentage. They haven't played a lot together, but this amplifies how strong the Dunstone team has been with EJ, a 900 win percentage. And EJ, what wasn't factored in is that he spared in a slam event before he officially joined the team, but huge success with this new lineup.
Good shot.
Well, Matt Geldum, a big free agent signing. You get one of the best sweepers in the world, the intensity, the fire that he brings.
Try to get this.
Sorry about your first. Back four.
But you know what? I think it was more in. I just got a little bit too much on the center line.
Out of your hand.
This will be a little stiff.
Try and be T-line out of your hand kind of thing.
Well, he's got the head-to-head. There's no doubt about that.
Max, wait.
Close.
Dunstone has.
Back line.
Whoa, curl.
Back
Whoa. Close.
I asked
wait.
John Epping, what would be a successful week for your team in Kelowna? And he said, playing great. He said, at the end of the week, we hope we can say we played great. And it's a good answer. Takes a little stress off your team. And if you play great, you're probably going to be in the playoff situation.
Well, Jacob doing a great job this morning. We talked about his tendency to throw a lot. John Epping said to me yesterday, often you'll hear me say to Jake, just nice peel, not killer pill. And it is that dialing back of weight. He's a great finesse player.
He's coming.
And threw all he needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll it into there.
What are you thinking?
9-5?
5? Yeah.
Right there.
I think so. Just don't know where to make a good roll off that one.
I was kind of thinking the other one, but
Where do we roll to?
well, roll like back 8 over here.
Like try and hit like half a rock low?
Yeah.
It is the host province, and it is BC on the ice this morning out of the Victoria Curling Club. It is Cameron DeYoung. He is one of the rookies making his debut. Talked to him before the championship, Kathy. So much excitement. He was thrilled to have this opportunity in his home province.
Well, he's got a huge opportunity for 3 in this end. Kevin Cooey flashed on his first shot, and that created this opportunity. Needs to get to the nose and stick around. And there is your 3.
And there's the crowd in the house saluting a nice shot. Cameron DeYoung and his team had the opportunity there in Victoria. They went to Parliament. They met the Premier of BC. And hoping to get win number 1 as both Cooey and him 0-3.
Let's wait.
So like back 8, it's almost same spot, right?
I think even if we nose this and he noses back, we have an outside chance of a double.
Okay.
It's rolls under it. But at least if he hits and rolls under now, I could still chase him, right?
On the heavier side of 9-5.
Okay.
Well, very interesting to hear the two different skips with different philosophies. Matt said if I hit and stick and John hits and sticks, there is going to be a double opportunity. So he's not looking to roll under, he's looking to stay there, whereas John feels that Matt's likely going to roll under and he might be able to chase. Just both looking ahead. It's a chess game.
Matt Dunstone lost in the playoffs to Mike McEwen last year as McEwen made it all the way to the final before losing to Brad Gushu. And a nose hit there.
Okay, Matty.
Hey, Matt.
I like this call. Matt thinking John might hit it and create a double. And for John, he's already shot. There's no need to hit it. And he's a very good drawer, so split the house.
Jake, but I think I'll just throw it a little more positive than Jake.
Positive, yeah.
Sounds
good,
good.
good.
Yeah. So what do we think for speed?
It's probably an 8 or an 8.5 I probably gave you there. That's good. That'll be good.
Okay.
One of your key points, Kathy, ice conditions, and I know it's early, but I have not seen any sign of frost at all on this Monday morning.
Well, the humidity in here yesterday was 65%. With the 3 dehumidification systems that are already hooked up, it's dropped to 38%. That is huge.
Yeah.
Trying to make them even.
Want to make sure their second shot rock. And they will. That's a lovely draw. And that is the force here in the second end.
Pitch that.
Finish is crazy, eh?
Yeah.
That held so much longer.
You don't like that, Rob?
I hate it.
Oh,
I don't like that at all.
Okay, yeah, let's get it then.
He's going to
Oh, great from Tanner.
take it either way, so. Okay.
Tanner feeling that that rock did not
We jam
slide
it.
as much and it over curled, so John will get rid of it.
I see that look a lot.
Well, you were a front-end player, Kathy. You got a lot of those rocks that did not cooperate.
Exactly. This is bad. Give it to Goche.
You shovel it down the lineup.
As you should. You definitely do not want your last thrower throwing anything that doesn't feel good. And good for Tanner to say that, because John's thinking, well, you know, it just curled a whole lot. I threw the right weight.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Tanner and Ian are saying, like, this rock should be sliding further. It shouldn't be curling as hard. It shouldn't be digging as much. So when in doubt, get rid of it.
And that's where guys like Mike Harris, the coach of this team, and the coach of Matt Dunstone is Caleb Flaxey. They'll be watching these stones and charting them all week long on all the sheets.
Whoa. Whoa.
Looking for a roll under.
Straight! Yeah! Straight! Hey, okay.
And my apologies, I said the force might have been on. I'm behind a few rocks here. This will be the opportunity for 2 for Northern Ontario.
Popped out a wee little bit.
Hack?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see from that vantage point, half a stone. And with the curl we see here inside the building, Prospera Place, gotta like his chances. Final stone here in 2 and a chance to score 2 for Northern Ontario.
Whoa.
Yep. Easy hot.
Clean. Yep. Hard. Hard.
And look at this stone start to make its move.
Very nice.
Look at that, right to the nose. And our first 2 in our feature game for John Epping. In this team's first full season together, they lead by 1. And there is Ian McMillan delivering for Northern Ontario here in this third end.
Line's great.
A steal of 1 for Dunstone in the first. Epping scoring 2 with Hammer in the second. So here in 3, it is Dunstone out of the Fort Rouge Curling Club in Manitoba. Red Rocks with Hammer.
You know, you talked about Ian going into events a little bit early to train with the team. If you are funded at all by Curling Canada, you must have 3 camps together and work together. It is so unusual now to find 4 players from the same team that live in the same place, but that is where David Murdoch is going. He really would like teams to be together more, remembering he came from Scotland where everybody is out of the same facility, and there's so much merit to throwing together, to being together. It's just in a vast country like we have, it's just really difficult, Muddy, to do that.
Well, that's what John Epping said too. He really believes in the centralized training.
Can't argue.
And being together. And for the Dunstone team, we mentioned that, you know, Matt lives in Kamloops, just a couple hours a drive from here. They had a big training weekend out in Toronto at the Mississauga Golf and Country Club, so it's just west of downtown Toronto. And, you know, got together, worked on some things together. And as Matt said, obviously I'll make the trip.
Well, you've got Kamloops, you've got Sault Ste. Marie, you've got Gimli, Manitoba. So
yeah,
that's a bit of a stretch for this team.
Whoa, early, whoa, early, whoa.
Hey, easy, guys. Easy.
Top 4. Top 8. Line's good. Line's good.
Weight's good.
Right here.
The light.
Looks here. Okay.
It's real close. I think it's there. It's there. I think it's there. Yeah. It's definitely there.
We'll just one over curl.
Good.
Well, it's nicely around, but just set up for EJ. See if he can get almost to the nose. Both of them go.
Heavy.
As EJ delivers, he wanted to wish his mom, Sue, a very happy birthday, as Sue is in the Soo in Sault Ste. Marie, watching her boys compete.
Shot, each shot.
And EJ making mom happy there with a nice double.
Happy birthday.
Shoot, Colt.
Sweet.
I should say both brothers.
I was
happy
going to
birthday,
say,
right?
so
Then it's
would
like
you not
we're playing
assume that Brian
favorites here.
also?
All right, I'm going to get myself in trouble. Obviously, both of them want to wish mom a happy birthday. And a real family affair in this family as well, as the Horgan brothers getting to watch sister just dominate with Rachel Holman, Tracy Fleury. What a run they had. And will represent Canada once again proudly at the Women's Worlds in South Korea.
Slide again.
I don't know that we've ever seen a dominance by a team like Rachel
Amazing.
Holman. Such a different level.
100% in the final. I mean, what more can you ask for?
And not easy shots, Muddy.
Oh, you think back early in that game, the 2 run-back doubles Rachel made. I mean, Carrie Anderson was licking her chops thinking, I got a 3 maybe created here, and
With every good reason.
pretty special.
Curl, 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 curl. Hey.
Still charting a little bit this morning. The ice conditions are different. We are not seeing that frost. I talked about the humidity almost in half. And the dew point has dropped 22%, which is amazing what they have been able to do overnight in this building. Greg ideally would like it to drop 6% more.
Wait's a little hotter.
But as a result, what you're going to see is a little bit different conditions, and both teams and all the teams out here today are going to see that, but it's also going to do a little bit different things.
Who are you, Environment Canada? Look at you just dropping technology.
No,
dew
Greg
points on
Owasco
us.
has beat dew point into me so often.
Wow, very impressive. Got a over to meteorologist Goche with the latest dew point in the building.
That's right.
But a building, it's a great building, home of the Kelowna Rockets, but built back in 1999. And And ice can be tricky. And curling ice is obviously different than hockey ice.
Good way. Clean. Curl. Clean. Curl. Curl.
Let's take a look now on sheet C. It's Nunavut taking on Newfoundland and Labrador, and one to come from Shane Latimer.
Well, for Shane, there's no way to get the stone that is buried underneath the guard. So this is the force looking for a draw to the 8-foot. I watched Shane last night, made a lot of shots. This team is going to push people. He in particular is just really dialed in.
Whoa, you're fine. You're fine.
And nicely done.
The weight is fine.
All right, oh boy.
It'll settle back 4 as one of those teams will pick up win number 1 here in Kelowna. As in our feature matchup, it is Jacob Horgan delivering here for Northern Ontario.
And I think the biggest difference we've seen this morning so far in these 3 ends is really good shot execution, other than just that little bit of what we just saw there. How to call it to be completely behind a guard. Both teams have struggled with that a little bit. And I attribute that just to the slight change in conditions, that the rocks are starting to be a little bit more lively in the absence of frost.
Updates continue here. It's Reed Carruthers. What a great start at 3-0. James Grattan 1-1 and 1 stone to come in 3.
And I think he's just playing the hit. This was very similar to the highlight reel we showed in the opening with Mike McEwen of a very flat double. But there's a lot more space between the 2 stones. So this is a nose hit for the single.
Reed picking up BJ Neufeld, Catlin Schneider, Connor Negevin.
Good speed.
And nice weight from Reed Carruthers. Trying to improve to 4-0 in a very competitive pool.
Good end.
This is my set. I like these.
Good spot.
I think you want to be edge on edge. I don't think you want to roll under.
A bit more here.
They're not really. Yeah.
Because even the 10-5s are reacting like a 9-5 now.
Yes,
like,
they're not doing much.
Now that's just further to what we just talked about.
I thought I was going to get more curl here.
yeah, we didn't get anything.
Solid board.
Solid board.
Clean. Solid.
Yeah.
Yep. Hard.
Really hard.
Whoa. Solid
Skip
board.
stones here in 3.
Yep. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Curl.
It's good. It's good.
And right in the nose, top 12.
Really good.
Good.
Just a little bit straighter. But teams are figuring it out.
Try to roll it here.
What's that?
So try to roll it this way and bite over here.
Really hard.
Yeah.
Kathy, it's been a frustrating couple of years for the former champion Kevin Cooey. He's off to an 0-3 start. It did not go his way last year at the Brier, and trying to pick up win number 1 here in BC.
Well, that red stone that is shot, that was the final stone just thrown by Cam DeYoung. Tried to corner freeze on it. He's beside it, but there is room for Kevin Cooey to get across the face and tap it back for 2, and that is what he's playing.
Kevin playing with Aaron Slaczynski, Tyler Tardy, Karek Martin.
Yep.
Kevin's longtime coach, John Dunn, behind the bench.
Hard. 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 Gotta go.
Karek Martin trying to save this one. And that little tap. And that is enough for the 2. So Cooey back in it, down by 1 to DeYoung.
Lucky.
Good way.
And on this sheet, they talked about, can you hit and roll on? It's tough because the stone that he's hitting is not fully in the house.
Sit.
Sometimes these will grab and spin back in, but not to be.
Hey, man, good throw.
Throw.
Great throw.
Toss.
Sorry, Chad. Wait, was good.
Good toss.
You got it.
Yeah, then he won't have the run, right? Yeah.
feel like this is our percentage to get a force.
Yep.
He's got to run that back and get the blank. We want to.
No,
Totally
we like
agree.
this, yeah.
I agree. I like
This
this.
should be like similar to the wing is coming this way.
Like I need a hair more, Jake. Hair more still.
I like that.
So the more typical call when you don't have Hammer is to go around the center guard, but in full respect to Matt's abilities, and because the center guard is so close to the house, John feels if they go around, Matt will just run it back and blank. So he's trying to go around the 2 corner guards to force.
Would you ever split your own yellow and lie too, Kathy, or is that silly?
It's not silly. You for sure could do that, but then you're,
Yeah. Now,
it's a long split.
I mean,
and there's no real split opportunity for Matt Dunstone, so it'll be right through for the easier blank.
No worries.
That wasn't a crisp throw. Wasn't crisp enough.
Okay, there you go. I was just curious.
If you throw a lazy rotation, the stones don't carry as far, and that's what happened.
So that is a blank on the board for Matt Dunstone.
We needed to, I guess.
Made the final a couple years ago against Brad Gushu when the brothers went head-to-head in that final. It's 2-1 Epping. Matt Dunstone, #1 ranked team in Canada right now, coming with a lot of confidence. And he's had confidence, though, for a long time, even back to his junior days. Let's flash back. 2016 Canadian Junior Men's Final in Stratford, Ontario. Northern Ontario's Tanner Horgan facing Manitoba's Matt Dunstone in the third, down by 1. But with Hammer, Horgan facing 3, trying to draw in to tie it up. But he'll wreck on the guard, gives up a steal of 3, and they couldn't recover. Manitoba would pull away 11-4 victory. Dunstone, Colton Lott, Kyle Deering, and Rob Gordon, your 2016 Canadian Junior champions, Kathy. And when you go back from 2013, look at this field and look at the names that competed in that championship and victorious.
Well, what I love about this is telling us that we have a program that is successful, that is moving these young men into this field. As you look through, all these people are here. There's more before that, but just focusing on since 2013, the future is indeed in good hands.
And Tyler Tardy, remember, he had a chance to go for another one, but he elected to play in the BC Playdowns. Remember that year? And
I do.
It was in his hometown, too.
It was, and he elected to move to men's, and it's a championship, unfortunately, for Tyler that he's not been able to win out of BC.
And he's a part of Kevin Cooey's team this year,
White boys.
competing with Team Alberta. So in our feature, a blank on the board, and it's a 2-1 advantage. Once again, Dunstone down by 1 with Hammer throwing the Red Rocks.
Yep.
Curl if you can. Curl. 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 Curl.
Hard.
Curl.
Hard.
Good. Nice.
Some signs. BC, you can do this. There you go. Got Go Canada. Some school kids in the house enjoying some curling here on this Monday morning. Yep. EJ Harden.
Curl.
And wiggles the 1 yellow out. Shotstone does belong to Dunstone.
And for Matt with last rock, the bigger part beyond moving it around a little bit was opening up that front.
What?
I know they're shot.
Guard.
If we hit this, then
Guard
they've
and a
got
guard.
2 corners.
It looks early.
So early.
You can see Mike Harris there. He's the coach behind the bench, and he wanted to send best wishes. Jim Wilson is a familiar face, longtime coach of John Epping. Well, Jim is not with the team, but he's got good reason, as Stephanie and Chris giving birth to a baby boy. So Jim Wilson has his first grandchild. He's a grandpa now for the first time.
Congratulations.
His daughter,
That's
Stephanie,
awesome.
giving birth with husband Chris. So yeah, baby boy. Congrats to Jim Wilson, who will have his hands full now as being a grandpa for the first time.
Yeah.
that's really heavy, guys. Easy.
Tight.
Really heavy. How's line?
3.
It's
Really tight.
Whoa.
Like top 12.
Just in.
Oh, this
Just
is
in.
really
Just out.
running,
Just out.
taking a long time.
Really coming down.
Whoa. Yep, go.
The hog line in it finished pretty good.
It did, but for sure just that little bit straighter than we've seen, which is not surprising.
Was that a dumb call?
I don't know.
It's just...
All those years of skipping, Tanner
This isn't awful for us in here.
always thinking.
Can we ever hit and roll off the one they just threw?
Coming off that.
You're never killing the top
You
8.
can't do a whole lot, like, even with that.
Touching.
I wonder if we can play that one.
Like into here.
We'll bump it like back line.
Yeah, I'd love. That'd be great.
It's
really tricky.
Yeah.
Even if we get into here, though, he plays that.
Okay, there's something in the middle here then. What
if we make that for now?
Or what if I even just freeze tap?
He's gonna blast that. Yeah, if we release it, it's really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like T-line, top button weight.
Yeah, top button weight.
Love that EJ came down. He's the one that's throwing the rock.
Basically bump it that far.
He talked about going through that port between the yellow and the red stones to get to the back one. It's great if you do it, but that's a pretty tight hole.
Play for the line, because if it's frozen,
So this is interesting too, this dynamic, right? Like you would think maybe Colton Lott would be a guy that would come down and have the conversation. EJ's the new guy. And I know he's throwing this particular stone, Kathy. I get that part of it. But, interesting, on a new team and a new dynamic, it's EJ coming down to have that conversation as well.
Whoa. Real. Top line's good. Yep.
Top 8.
Yeah. Yep. Hard.
Make it.
Hard.
Make it, Ryan.
Oh, boy, this is curling hard.
What do you want to do, Matt?
Just go.
Just the weight. Was trying to unlock those stones.
Just got chewed up.
I don't like that rock.
You saw the Cooey update we showed you. It's BC with Hammer leading by 1. A 1-1 tie. Carruthers Grattan on sheet B. And Newfoundland Labrador, a 3-2 advantage over team Nunavut. As Ty DeLello, the skip for Newfoundland and Labrador of the Remax Center, St. John's Curling Club, and the Brier heading back to St. John's, which
it
will be
is very exciting.
Make contact, but then
hopefully the
we're going to be able to hit and roll behind everything.
Pull the guards off, to be honest.
Yeah.
No, Jake making his way down, really wants to take a look at it.
Look at what that call
Yeah.
is. Just a mess.
Like that?
Yeah.
Is it dragging up? Do we get it coming back?
Oh, yeah, it'll hit that one.
And our shooter stays.
Yeah, and then they'll have the hit and roll under that, and then you'll have to make a runner.
Can we stick this in there?
So you try to get almost to the crotch,
It'll be
and then
close.
this stone comes back
You might be better to
on
make this
this.
and try to get this to roll in the rings, actually.
Yeah.
That might be your better
Even if you
call.
hit it a little
It's not
thick or
bad if
thin, the
it's
yellow
here,
one
then
is, the guard is going to come into the house.
Yep. Just peel.
It looks like it's going where it's
You went
going.
like vapor thin, like tick tick. That's probably.
We're trying to drag it in there. Yeah, how thin?
Third.
Yeah. Okay. Go, buddy. Might want to bail early there, Ken.
And the red rock to the right of John's broom, they thought maybe it clips the other red and scooches into the house, possibly.
Depends where you hit this, for sure.
So that little conversation, we'll see where they end up after this stone from Jacob Horgan.
Yep.
Bang. So the red in the house goes. That other red we talked about does not go in the house. And
Great result.
3 right now lying for Northern Ontario.
Great result. Really good throw by Jake. He just let it come out of his hand. Didn't extend with the extra weight, so a pure throw.
Yeah, real good.
They were worried that one red that's spinning there might end up in the house, but it does not. And yeah, great result.
Yeah, great shot.
The hair low, eh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yep.
Only Team Jacobs out of Calgary with a better hammer efficiency.
Hey.
As Colton will jam that one. And now, a little bit of heat on Dunstone in 4. In the meantime, update time. And let's check in on 2 0-3 teams and 1 stone to come from De Jong over on sheet A.
Well, the wheels kind of came off on Team BC this end, playing runbacks and not catching anything. That is why Cooey lies 2 on the lid. This is the in-off for Cam, trying to make contact with the outside stone, redirected onto the lid.
Girl.
And this one's out there.
And that will be a steal of 2.
Yeah, it didn't have, whether it's the weight or the broom, didn't curl enough. And so, just like that, Kevin Cooey leads by 1. And in our feature, what do they discuss here, Kathy? Coming in or a guard?
Oh, they're coming in?
Coming in?
Hard. Line's good.
Weight's pretty good.
One in a room.
Whoa.
Curl.
This is where it tracks for the longest time out here.
It's a little hot.
Got to get off that red. Looks like a little tap.
Sorry, John.
Actually, it's not that weight.
I just missed the weight call. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a little tap, 4 in the rings.
Well, that little bit of a lock of those 2 yellow stones gives a guard in the house essentially for Matt if they can roll to the right.
Good way.
Clean. Whoa, easy. Clean. Yep. Whoa. Curl.
You got a curl.
Let's go. Christ.
And a tough one there for Colton.
Hey, good throw.
There is definitely a path out here this morning on this sheet, on the half of the sheet that is closest to the crowd, that it wants to run straight. It just has not done much on draw weight or hits.
What's that?
Weight was okay?
Yeah.
Might have something tasty off there,
Yeah.
especially if he gets under.
Okay. Yeah, I
Sounds
agree.
great. Paramore. Speed's okay, just not quite as fast as we've been seeing.
Yeah,
Is that
just
what you're
like
seeing?
give us
Yeah.
like about 3 feet more. Yeah.
Really close.
Line's good.
Real close.
Looks out.
Got room.
Maybe a hair light.
Skip
No,
Stone's here at
line's
4 and a
great.
great
Hey, no,
chance for
weight's good.
John Epping to apply a little more
Hairline,
pressure on Matt Dunstone.
Line's good.
Hair light.
Trying to tack around, ideally
distance.
about a half
We're
buried,
good.
not completely.
Good sweep.
Shot, John.
Pretty good.
Great shot.
Thanks. Really warps in sideways at the end.
Yeah.
Coming across that line.
I know. I was worried for.
That's why I'm not convinced that they were. I know they were worried about my first one in the second end, but
Right.
it just goes across that line. I don't think my first one's necessarily that bad, to be fair. It does feel to me in general about 3 feet slower than what we've seen all week. I don't know if that feels about 3-4 feet to me.
Slower and just grabbier.
Yeah,
Like,
just a little,
even-
Yeah, I agree.
Even more
The
early.
surface even feels softer than like under my foot a bit, but just get dark in here.
The lights are going dim, John. It did not get dark in here. Oh, dear. But you know what? Great conversation. And you have
Same
to
speed as
believe
what I gave
what
you in
you
the first
see.
dance
That
goal?
is such a huge part of this game. Just because ice was one way yesterday
Yeah, that's what
doesn't mean it was today. John's saying just unilaterally, it is about 3 feet heavier. It curls a lot. I don't think there's anything wrong with my rocks. And that is just a great attitude. You're not blaming ice. You're not blaming stones. You're just saying, no, it's just a little bit different.
Back 4. Wait only. Back 4 on zone.
Matt trying to loop around the stone just thrown by John and freeze to the back stone.
We're still all there.
Has to dig in time to be shot rock, and it is not.
Do not believe so.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
But it does outcount a whole lot of granite, Muddy.
Not good enough for now.
I don't have rocks.
Are we
Yeah,
shot?
our T-line's good. T-line's good.
Okay.
We agree,
Yeah, walk
Kathy,
it off.
yellow shot stone.
You know what? I
do you
think
want,
so.
another
It
couple
looked a lot more like it was when I wasn't spinning.
So you're spinning. The lights went out for John. There's lots going on here on this Monday morning. His final stone in 4.
Very similar.
Line's good.
I mean, a little tap would answer the question.
It sure would. And they're trying to be on top. They don't really care even about tapping. They just want to negate the whole value of the stone that Matt just threw.
Gotta go! Hard! Hard!
They're going to kiss off their yellow. And did they leave the
I don't
double
love that
for
rock.
2?
7?
Yeah, they did for
I gave
sure.
you more. I think I gave my first one. I need my first one back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think my first one's that bad, actually.
We get your second.
You make the double,
got
Kathy.
rid
Do you
of
have some action, though? Do you actually spin
Yeah,
up?
I don't think my first one's that bad.
Those stones are really, really tough when they're side by each because one's always a
That's
little
the
bit
one,
higher. You have
right?
to hit that one first.
You think that this is going to go?
I think if we throw peel, I think it does. What do you think?
I mean, a lot of time. On
No?
How about the round the horn?
Just very
Touch a ball.
Even then, hit this one first. We're still scoring, right?
Yeah.
Intern? It's got to be an intern shot, right?
Yeah. Like
Okay.
So the issue is not this. That's for sure. But the question is, what stone do you hit first? If you hit this one first, you could be in trouble. So trying to hit the one on the right, it will go hoping to push the one on the left out. But you heard Matt say, if I hit it in the middle, we're going to score for sure. And that's the objective. They look really easy when they're side by each, but they're never perfectly lined up. You're always going to connect with one first. Really needs to connect with the one on the right.
Because if you hit the one on the left, Kathy, you're going to spin all the way up around the horn and move actually up. And where does that yellow one go as well? Let's find out. Final stone here in 4. Matt Dunstone.
Help me. Yeah! Yeah! Whoa!
Big time weight. He's throwing a rocket.
Attaboy.
Oh, picks it clean nicely.
Beauty.
And out of nowhere, the skipper's deuce for Matt Dunstone.
Big weight he can do. Better
Boy,
than most.
It looked like John Epping had him there to the force, but Dunstone finds a way and leads by 1. Ryan Harnden lean stones for Matt Dunstone, Team Manitoba. And Kathy, John Epping looked like he had the perfect end setting up for a force, and somehow, some way, Matt Dunstone able to score his 2 there in 4.
Well, it was a really good shot by Matt. Even his first one, it wasn't shot, but it created an opportunity. And then John Epping, you heard him saying, no, I want my other rock back. It didn't slide as far as he thought it would go and set up a tough double, but it was capitalized on by Matt.
Updates continue. Let's check in on Sheet C, Nunavut, Newfoundland and Labrador.
Well, final stone by Ty DeLello from Newfoundland Labrador was a guard. He is shot stone at the back of the 4-foot. And so not looking to score 2, but looking to get to the full 4-foot for the single.
Yeah, guys.
Saw a great weight the last time we did an update with Shane throwing last rock.
You got it. It's good.
Boy, if they had
Wow.
jumped on that a little earlier, they
he
might
could
have been
had
able
the kiss
to.
and
Yeah.
move it back for a potential 2. He'll take the 1. Having a good time on this Monday morning in a 3-3 tie after 5.
Top 4.
Easy.
Little bit of room. Wide as sweep in. Pete a little bit.
Coming down.
Okay, straight.
Line's good.
Straight.
Top 4.
Line's great. Curl and go. Curl and go. Curl and go. No, never off. Hard, Pete.
Good shot, Age.
Nice finish. Great weight.
That 6 is showing now. Yeah, even last time, dog.
Huge numbers.
Coming in.
Good numbers from both Ryan and Ian.
Really, really good.
Tough
And I
to
think
find
that,
the percentage point there, Kathy, to get the plus.
well, and I think that we've seen that. The setup has been really good. I think that the struggle has been with the thirds, and it's not even a big struggle. It's just about whether they were rolling underneath or partially open.
Yep.
Tap, tap, that red stone.
That is a great shot.
And the houses, Kathy, to my eye, look a lot more lively this morning.
They do. That's the humidity coming out of the air.
Probably still peel. 7/8. Yep. Hard. No roll. Yep.
And the shooter
Hard.
spills into the rings as well. So the double for EJ, shooter top 12.
Well, a really good shot. You saw EJ's number, 75% on draws. That's that little bit off. Otherwise, his overall would be much higher, but what a hitter.
Same way.
Yep.
Hair left. Yep. Stay on it.
Great shot.
Great shot.
Really nice controlled weight by both teams this morning to make sure that they keep their shooters around.
Okay.
10-5.
Yeah.
Mentioned Colton and playing mixed doubles. 3-time medalist. He lost a couple of finals with Kadriana, his wife, to Anderson and Gushu the 1 year. Walker and Myers.
Well, you saw his numbers. It will be a long time before you see Colton Lott in the 60s when it comes to hits and overall.
Just throw, Colt. Sweet.
Kathy, back and forth game over in Sheet A, BC, Alberta, and it's update time.
Well, Alberta putting a lot of pressure, and if it were not for Cam DeYoung's first, he made a run double to remove 2 Cooey stones off of the 4-foot. It would look a whole lot worse. Kevin Cooey electing to draw in on his final stone, so that is why Alberta does lie too. Cam trying to get to the face of the stone just thrown by Kevin, tap it back for the single.
DeYoung was a big fan of Kevin Martin growing up. And taking on his son, Karek, in this game.
Great shot. That is huge for the skip of this BC team. He held them in
a 4-4 tie. Yeah, those Olympics in Vancouver, Kathy, were special for so many reasons back in 2010 and inspired a lot of players including De Jong, who watched Kevin Martin win that gold medal.
T-line back button. No, man. Line's good. T-line. No. Talk to me. T-line still. On its own. Are we going around? We don't have line. Whoa. Back line. Still. Curl and go.
Curl and go.
Curl and go. You're never off, Pete. Come on.
Gotta keep going.
Keep going, Pete. You're never off.
Keep going. Really gotta keep going.
Okay, cool. Sweet.
Try to get to there.
Best.
That'd be really good. Problem is, if we don't curl enough, does he have this?
Yeah, he does.
If we don't curl enough, does he have this?
Yeah. Yep. Very true. So you mean you can go this way?
True.
Odds are Jen.
I don't think we have much, yeah.
What about T-line this way?
We still play the side.
We go heavy.
But then you're there and you make...
Yeah.
Is freezing the red bad?
I mean,
because then he can't freeze the top one and get shot or second shot.
As long as our weight's like pretty close.
Well, it's going to plant there. The problem is he's going to be there, right?
Yeah.
So I think we had lots of room by. I think you can get into there pretty easily, to be honest. I think you can easily get there.
Like his best shot, just get second shot right under?
Yeah, he might not be second, but it's the best shot for us. Yeah.
And we just played it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Line it up.
So the concern they had, well, first of all, when you come around this side, which is the side that they've elected to go to, would like to be here. The concern from the hack is maybe we should be going around the other way. Work with me. Going around the other way.
I do, Kathy. Every morning.
Well, I'm going to put my Etch-a-Sketch away for a bit, but to go around the other side, you create a bit of a run. That was their concern. But you have to make the shot at the end of the day, whether you play the in-turn around the outside. Matt is always going to have the run back on the red stone that is in the 12-foot. It's always going to be there, but force them to make it against two. So trying to get right to the face of their own. They may not be second shot, but they will be two and buried.
Line's good.
Yep.
Light. It's coming down.
Yep.
Straight.
Yep. Line's great. Whoa. Over curl's great.
Wow, and right to the face. What a shot.
Beautiful curling.
Oh, great shot, Jake.
Sweet.
Jacob Horgan with a beauty.
Oh, is that good?
Look at how that finished, Kathy.
Curled nice again. A little more ice, or?
All right, key shot time, and it goes back to last end, and it comes, Kathy, from Matt Dunstone.
Well, Matt always has been known as a great hitter. This shot is way tougher than it looks because they're staggered ever so slightly. Takes on the risk with a huge reward of a pair.
The key shot brought to you by BKT Tires, growing together. Ooh, it's a double box, Matt. There you go. Made the double, seeing double as we go to
Lights are going dim for John Epping.
It's Monday, Kathy. It sure is. Skipstone's here in 5.
What a terrific shot by Jacob Horgan. And some better numbers for Matt. He was 75%. He started at 85, went to 91. His third game, 75%. Pulling his numbers back up today.
Gotta go. Gotta go.
Looking for the roll.
And flips it inside. Kisses his red. And it is second shot rock. Shot stone still belongs to Northern Ontario.
Good sweep.
Get the other way, yeah.
Good sweep, Pete. Good throw.
Reducing the scoring zone for Northern Ontario.
You drew out.
I came up a bit light here 2 ends ago, didn't I?
Which one do we want?
Right on the tee line.
Ask him.
John, which one? You want the one?
The one. I'll have the one.
Yeah, give him the one.
Yeah.
You want the one I was throwing?
Yeah, I'll take that one. Right on the tee line, boys. What are we thinking for speed?
I think this side might be just
little hair slower than this slide, which is true. Yeah, I agree.
3, 4 feet.
I need a hair more, Jake.
Yeah,
Give us 3 feet more than
Okay, then we're
today's.
thinking. Okay.
So remembering, this is the stone that John started with that Tanner didn't think was very good, so they took it away, and then John didn't like the replacement, and that probably reflects in
Your hair
those
light?
numbers.
Lines of hair tight.
Yeah, you can go. Yeah, you can go. You gotta go.
Line's good.
Better, but gotta go.
Line's really good, boys.
Line's good. Sweep for T.
Easy. Easy.
Close.
Curl.
Curl to T.
Curl.
Trying to finish this stone. Finish up a little bit more, and they are lying the 2.
It's just the line.
Well, it didn't really have a chance to curl. Almost out of his hand, Ian and Tanner put their heads down and started to sweep.
We're just overkilling those.
And that's exactly what they did.
Curl enough every time. Nose is good.
Yeah. Ever so slightly low just to make sure we're shot, though.
And the brushers
How's that
had to
look?
go for weight, but if you can just wait that little bit until it starts to catch the curl,
Is that max? Because they
it will finish that much more.
No, that's good.
14-8.
And he knows.
It's a tough game, Kathy. I mean,
You know, as a brusher, your job is to find the weight and to get it to where it's going. But in that case, if just they could wait and just do a hard clean to extend the life of the stone and then start to brush, it would have curled that little bit more.
Yeah, I like your draw the.
Chance for Matt to get out of trouble.
T-line.
A little bit early.
Where is it? T-line.
Hard line.
Your room.
Line's
Dunstone
good.
losing the
Line's good.
Brier final back in 2023 in London to Gushu.
Hard! Hard! Come on, hard!
Really got to drag this in,
It's just tight.
and it's going to clip the yellow.
Fuck happened to that? Fuck me.
Just look tighter.
So a
than this.
chance. They got 2 in their back pocket, Kathy. Can you orchestrate some more offense here?
I think they're just making absolutely sure that it is second shot. I think it is.
I think it's definitely 2.
Yes.
Can you get in for 3 or maybe
Yeah,
more?
you can for sure. You can play the outturn side.
We can use this.
Slightly better than inch it off
little
the
bit.
buttons, or what we got to do?
Right on the T-line.
Right on the T-line.
This side's gonna be a little faster.
Yeah.
Not like I'm not saying I'm gonna throw it.
I think
lighter.
if you
I'm
give
just
us
saying
kind
it's
of...
just simple.
Yeah.
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 What an opportunity.
They played a couple nice ends in a row, Kathy. I mean, if not for Matt Dunstone last end, it looked like the force was on.
You
The
are
key
not wrong.
shot was Dunstone making a great double to score his 2.
Whoa, if you can.
And a chance to answer back here in 5. Final stone, John Epping.
Where?
Out of Northern Ontario.
Sweep for T.
Yep.
Sweep for
The
T.
Northern
Whoa,
Credit
Sweet for T.
Union Community Center in Sudbury. Can he get this one in there?
Sweep for T. Whoa.
Has to stop, has to curl, a little bit of backing, but that slides too far. Is it good? I think it is. Good for 3.
These 2 and then probably measure for a third.
I think it's
I think
a
it's-
pretty simple 3.
I do too. 2 great draws by John Epping.
2 for sure, but we.
Oh, sorry.
I don't even think that's close, Kathy. I think that's 3 all day.
I agree.
I would bet on us.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Too.
Can you
I
say
should
that
come
one
out
more
of here,
time?
you decide.
Yellow.
Oh, you agree with? Oh, thank you.
Let's say yellow.
By a little bit. Yeah.
Just overswept it a hair, right?
Oh, they're just dead.
Really good discussion, John Epping. Felt one side was 3 feet more than another, adjusted his weight, let the brushers make the decision.
Yeah, it's more like when you sweep the whole way. Our line is always...
So we'll get a measurement.
Yeah. We gotta like, I think we just gotta play into it a little bit more. I gotta look up a little bit more, and not just like gun it, because realistically I'm not doing much anyway.
And they're still talking about
Love that,
sweeping.
Tanner.
Yeah.
Tanner is the lead sweeper, and so he needs to look up a little bit more. He's absolutely right.
So the adjustment to the micrometer to the yellow first.
I don't think it's that close.
I don't think it's close either. It's yellow all day long.
3.
Look.
Okay, well, we've had 2 pointed.
No, it's definitely yellow.
Yeah.
That is, yes.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm like, what is happening out there?
Got a lot going on this Monday morning, right, John?
Gave John a heart attack.
Him and Mike Harris have a moment, as have we had a few moments. It is Northern Ontario leading by 2. Just after 10 a.m. local time here in Kelowna, and look at the marina. Beautiful Lake Okanagan. Almost that time. Spring in the air. Wonderful part of the country for wine tours. You got the golf. You can go skiing as well. And it's all about the curling here this week, the Montana's Brier. And a great end for John Epping and his team as they lead by 2, Kathy, after 5.
Well, it's the last 2 ends that have really made a difference in this game. That side-by-side double by Matt, really difficult, but makes it perfectly for the 2. You think, okay, maybe this game's Dunstone's, but Dunstone coming a little bit light, and 2 perfect draws by John Epping gave the 3 last end. When you look at the thirds, we talked about Jacob growing into that position with John, has the edge on a usually very strong Colton Watt.
After 5, brought to you by PointsBet, the official sports gaming partner of Curling Canada. In the final 5, it'll have to be a comeback here for Matt Dunstone to remain perfect all time at the Brier versus John Epping. 6th end next.
The 2025 Montana's Brier is presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar, proudly Canada's home for barbecue since 1995. By Home Hardware, here's how. By Scotties, Canada's #1 facial tissue brand. And by New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada.
Who's winning the Stanley Cup?
Probably the only Canadian that doesn't watch hockey.
I'm going to hope it's the Vancouver Canucks, because that's my team.
Who won last year? Florida? Maybe go with them again.
I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Lightning just because we have some connections on that team with Josh. His cousin's on that team, so I'm going to go with the Lightning.
Hey, who's his cousin?
Brandon Hagel.
Let's go Winnipeg.
Well, I really hope Winnipeg can get it done.
I think the Winnipeg Jets are primed and ready to kind of go deep. They have one of the best goaltenders in the entire world on their team.
Connor Hellebuck. Winnipeg Jets, baby.
Winnipeg Jets. It's time to win the cup.
If the Jets won the cup, it would be, pandemonium.
Not the Canadians.
I'm going to go with Mark Kennedy's team, the Edmonton Oilers. It's an easy one. It's the Oilers.
Oh, definitely the Oilers. I believe that the Oilers have the best shot so far.
I got to go with back home. Everybody in my family loves the Leafs.
I think the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to win the Stanley Cup because even blind squirrels find a nut every now and then.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
But definitely not the Leafs, right?
Oh, no. Please not.
Those are great.
Jean-Michel Menard, come on. The Habs, they're fighting for a wild card spot. They take on the Sabres tonight on TSN2. And, of course, we're in Kelowna, home to the Kelowna Rockets. They won the Memorial Cup in 2004. And the Memorial Cup returns here, Kathy. They will host it next year. And some hockey trivia for you. Who is the first ever draft pick of the Utah Hockey Club? He plays for this year's Tija Ginla, correct. And unfortunately, the Rockets not off to a great year. They're last in their division. They're on an 8-game road trip right now. But down the road, his dad, Jerome, played in Kamloops, and he won back-to-back titles there. That's where Matt Dunstone now lives, in Kamloops. So a lot of great hockey ties, obviously, to this city.
I think Josh Morrissey's also from here.
Yeah, Shea Weber. A lot of greats have come through the Kelowna Rockets over the years. And they've been throwing some rockets on the ice here at Prospera Place, but the curling kind, as E.J. Harnden, he'll stuff that one. So a 5-3 advantage for Northern Ontario. And, you know, for Matt Dunstone, great success this year. They're always a contender, but you can just feel a little frustration here on this Monday morning from that team.
Frustration and patience for Matt. We talked about that in the keys. Come out here, plan to play 10. Their expectations are so high, but so too are many other teams that are in this event. And things haven't worked out great so far for Matt's team, but this team is so strong through the order that you can flip it around. But when you start to play tight, it doesn't help. And I know it sounds gratuitous to just throw something like that out, but it's true. So just look at scoring, 2 points back. You have last rock. Lots of game to go.
2-3.
I think we just leave it. I think we just leave it. I think we just leave it.
Stagger at a tiny bit.
Okay.
Good.
All 4 sheets in play in a 4-4 tie. Another update here, Kathy, BC and Alberta.
Well, a chance for 2. Aaron Slaczynski was trying to draw in, and he did, but he went deep, and that allowed De Jong to come down to the back stone. They've been trading that back one, but this stone is almost completely open for Kevin. Already lying second shot, chance for 2.
Clean. Yep. Yes. Easy. Clean. Yes.
Karek Martin on the brush. Clean is usually a good sign.
Clean. Nice throw.
Little tap. Kevin Cooey. And 2 more. So Cooey battling back in this game. As you'll remember, it was a 3-0 advantage at 1 point for BC.
That's what they opened with.
Jacob Horgan in our feature.
Really gotta go.
And with the advantage on the scoreboard for John Epping, we'll just try to minimize stones in play that are out front. Take away things that Matt can use, but he still has 1 and looking for Colton to bury around.
T-line!
Okay, line's...
Back T!
Okay, line's good.
Back T!
High as you can on this line.
Trying. We're
It's
still
not curling
almost
at all.
T.
It's always edge when you go. Yeah, just go. Get it way under. Make them freeze this. Get it moving. Yep. Get it moving. Whoa. Yep. Good shot, Cole.
Great weight.
Go.
Good shot, Cole.
So when they did Colton's numbers, his draws were higher than his hits. That is very unusual. But nice weight.
Whoa. Curl. Uh-oh. Roll it out.
And wanted to either make it or roll to the center.
Got caught a little bit in between it. It is more open than it was before, for sure.
And that opens the door now for Dunstone to try score a few here in 6 with Hammer. Update time. Carruthers, Grattan, and a lot of granite in the house over on GP.
Well, 14 out of 15 stones are in play. 1 for sure. Maybe 2 already belong to Grattan.
You know, I was talking with James for the championship. He turned 50 recently. He said, you know what, it just means a lot more coming this year with a lot of his good friends, his son, his brother on the bench. And I said, can we still call you Jimmy the Kid? He says, well, yeah, if they can call him Sid the Kid, yeah, I'll take Jimmy the Kid in my 50s. I'm okay with it. Wants a good one here, and oh, that little kiss. So now, is it 1 or 2 as BJ Neufeld
Take a look. It's 1
has
for
a
sure.
peek?
It was close.
And they kick them away, and apparently just the one.
Got a gripper I can borrow? Can I borrow your gripper?
So a 3-3 tie on sheet B.
Yep. Yeah. Whoa! Whoa! Carl!
Skip Stone's in 6.
Carl!
John Epping.
Carl!
Trying to play the double, or at least roll and jiggle those two.
Got one. Got your jiggle.
Okay, that's good, John.
And the double is available.
It's pretty good.
It is pretty good, though.
I don't know who's there. 10-5 enough weight for? 10-5. Try to hit 2/3, 3/4. Yeah.
We talked about the format, Kathy. These head-to-head games are so critical.
Massive.
You know that Epping comes in with the one loss. You know Dunstone's undefeated coming in. But if you beat them head-to-head to make the final 3, if you have the same record and you beat your competitor, then that's the tiebreaker. Or
Close.
one of them anyways.
And both of these teams, I was just looking ahead at their schedule, have some really big games still coming up. And Matt's success in making playoffs is pretty darn good. But you want to rely on your record. And if your record includes beating one of the top teams, you advance.
Nice touch.
Very
Rolls
nice.
the shooter. Double for Matt Dunstone.
And flat.
Good shot.
You saw the one time, you know, I guess the blemish you could say, that was Regina in 2018, a 6-5 record. Great weight control. Shooter sticks around, and a good chance to score multiple here with hammer and 6.
A really great example that you don't have to throw a bullet to make a double. He threw just the appropriate weight for that shot. And the key is how flat those are. So for John Epping, we'll just hit and stick and force Matt to do the same to score his 2.
Girls! Whoa, you're good. Clean! 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 Clean!
So the nose hit to score 2 and tie things up for Matt Dunstone.
Pick up a little bit of time. 10-5. That way it was close, hey?
Yeah.
I think so.
You know, you have a frustrating end or some moments in a game, and, you know, Matt talks so highly of Adam Kingsbury, who's been with him for about 7 years. Matt says the impact on his career has been massive. And then you pick up Caleb Flaxey, who knows the Harndons very well all those years as well. He's great on the curling side, the data, the analytics, really good at the numbers. So, you know, maybe not talked about enough, but those two guys have made a big difference for Team Matt Dunstone.
Well, Matt has always been a really good rock thrower, but games at the highest level really are made in your head because that filters through to your fingertips. And Adam Kingsbury has made a huge difference.
Shot, Matt.
Good weight, great shot, and a rebound end with 2 on the board. It's been a good one, our feature, on this Monday morning. 5-5 at the Brier. Beautiful day to spend your Monday on Lake Okanagan, just hanging out, looking for some food. How Canadian is that, Kathy? There you go. We got curling. We got the
Me and you.
Canadian geese. Yeah, you and I there, hanging out.
Didn't share your food.
Actually, you did buy coffee this morning, so thank you for that. This afternoon, draw 8. Mike McEwen made the final last year, a 3-0 record, taking on Quebec and Felix Sasselan. Of course, the champion, Jean-Michel Menard, on that team as well. They are 2-1, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Our next game on this Monday, Vic Rauter, Russ Howard. That's not those two, but Joanne Courtney, Kathy Gaucher. Maybe they are out there. I don't know. But that is the coverage later on this afternoon on TSN. Absolutely love Kelowna, Kathy. As
I do too.
a youngster, I grew up in Alberta, but we spent a lot of time here summer times and learning about wineries. Of course, the golf here. You can go golfing and skiing the same day if
As
you
a
choose.
youngster, you were learning about wineries.
Absolutely.
Champion start young.
Yeah. Champions start small, right? So it really is a special place. The weather's been outstanding, and so many friendly people here in Kelowna. We've had a great time so far. In our feature matchup, in a 5-5 tie, there's EJ Harnden, part of Matt Dunstone's team now, the new addition.
Well, it's a really good battle, and we thought that it would be two very good teams going head-to-head.
Keep going, Colt. Where are we?
Where's the T-line? Coming down.
Yep, just go. Try and get to Noser.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Little tap on the yellow.
IH.
Hawk! Hawk!
Tanner can see all plus, but for John, Epping would like Tanner to not only remove this stone, but roll underneath and continue to build that pile.
Move it!
Curl!
Curl! Hard! Go in. Keep going! Keep going!
Right to it.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
And that flip inside to lie 3 with hammer here in 7.
It's not.
Wow. Up for it.
EJ will try to get back on top. It must feel odd for Ryan and EJ after that last shot to hear the moose calls when that's their call.
Room.
T-line.
Room.
T.
Colts.
Back button.
Colts. Okay, line's good. Hey, weight's good. Line's good. Line's good.
You know, one of the toughest moments, and you talked about their friendship, their brothers and best friends, but a couple years ago, they met in the Brier final. EJ was with Gushu, of course. Ryan Harnden was on this team, and the embrace after with their father. I mean, the emotion that poured out, how tough that is to play against your best friend after you won together. You know, the great run, those back-to-back years, the Brier in Edmonton with Brad Jacobs, then winning gold in Sochi. And back together again, though. Teammates once again at the Brier here in Kelowna.
Big. I think it's big. No.
Top 4. Curl.
Curl, Ian, just go. Just go. Just knife. Knife.
Top 4.
Okay, whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah. Weight.
Little
bump. Bouncing.
Whoa. Curl. Oh, that's really heavy.
Shot.
Sweep. Decided to rip out the 9. That works.
Shot.
Matt will continue to pile stones on there. That one red is protecting.
It looks like Tetris, doesn't it?
It does very much.
Just
Waiting for the next one to drop.
Top 4.
Oh, then.
Line's great.
Too much, then. Easy.
Room. Top 4. Middle room. Line's good.
Easy line.
Middle room. At least. Talk to me. Top 4. Top. Clean.
Top button.
Whoa. Whoa. Yeah, it's curl.
Curl.
Trying to get right on top and not bounce. The carve right now is to try to make it curl.
Not that bad.
Let's update you one more time. It's been a nice comeback for Kevin Cooey, who is down 3-0. He now leads by 2, and one more stone to come from Cam Dion.
Well, Kevin made the shot this end. It was all BC. Alberta not playing particularly strong, but Kevin did a Kevin Cooey shot, made a perfect freeze on his first, and in trying to follow him down, Cam grazed the guard and redirected, and Kevin removed it. So it is 2. He's just trying to get down to the face of the shot stone for the single.
Gotta go.
Need to make it curl.
Keep going. Keep going.
Ooh. And that will spill and...
Steal of 1.
Yeah, 1 for sure. So a steal of 1 more. So Kevin Cooey having a strong second half and now leads by 3.
Come on. Really got to go. Never leave it. Never leave it. Come on, go. Dig. Dig. Come on, get back. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go.
And not from lack of effort. Tanner was digging in as hard as he could and couldn't save it.
Good shoot. In here again. Okay.
It looks like a lot of ice from the hack, but if you're soft on release at all, it will just warp, and there's not much you can do once it starts to curl
Top 4.
if you have a soft release.
You can go. It's going to be a new path, Line's great. Hard line. Line's good. Top 8. Line's great, hard. Just that. Little bit of, no, just go. Line's great. Line's really good. Whoa.
We're bumping.
Whoa, whoa, clean. Yep, yep, yep. Great shot.
Shot, Colt.
Very nice. Good way, Colt. Good sweep, Peach.
So still, shot stone does belong to Northern Ontario, right on the Montana's button.
That's got to be one of the quickest spots for sure.
I had 14.9 on your first, yeah.
You had 14.9 on my first?
Yeah.
Holy.
Firm hat. Just a bit light.
Firm hat.
It's probably back line out of your hand.
Yeah, hack or down hack, right?
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Whoa! Weight's good.
Well, even though there's more yellow than red in the house, it's nervous times for John Epping. Need to move some of this granite around.
Forward. Curl. Okay.
Nice shot.
Yellow's still shot, but the angles.
The guard?
I think we're guarding it. Like the drag. This way? I'm just scared whenever this touches it.
Just scared he makes the run like this might touch it, right? And pick it off.
Well, what else do you get?
What else?
Don't have much else, eh? High as we can, almost?
Yeah.
I think so, Matt.
Like right here?
Yeah. Where are you seeing?
Seeing
Yeah, it's a lonely red in there, Kathy, with Northern Ontario with hammer.
It's a lonely red, but on the other hand, it's really difficult for Epping to score 2.
quickest spot in the sheet, hey?
Yeah, it's nice. Nice speed.
We agree Northern Ontario shot stone, Kathy?
We do.
Still? Yeah, okay.
We do.
I'll show you here in a second.
Just looking to see if they make the run, can they clip the red, but you can also very easily lose your own.
This is like a 15 to tee, hey?
Yeah, high
Spot?
forward. Yeah.
In a 3-3 tie, Reed Carruthers, Manitoba, James Stratton, New Brunswick, with 1 stone to come from the skip from Manitoba.
But you can see that it is Carruthers already with shot. Chance for 2.
Similar-ish.
And what a wonderful shot Reed made yesterday on a buried stone to win. Playing back like Reed we used to know. Oh. As soon as you see...
Geez, the handle's kind of gone wonky
it's
here.
not only that, but the brushers disappeared.
Wow.
He's going to be fine, it looks like.
And...
It always makes me wonder when the
was-
feet disappear off the screen.
It is a Monday morning, Kathy. There's been a lot of weird stuff going on, but that does dig in as Reed's team curling 90% this morning. Reed himself 93%, and that one will count for a deuce, so he's up by 2.
Yeah.
Try and get the 3 reds?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you open up that left side.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, only 2 stones not in play on our feature in the 7th end. What can John Epping orchestrate here?
Well, what he's trying to do is open up the front because he feels that he's got access to that red stone for, as Jason Gunlickson would say, a Yahtzee, but he can only do it from the left side of the sheet. So trying to clear all of this granite out of the way.
Good. Good.
Okay, a little more space.
Still left 2 guards. I don't know that that gave him more access to the yellow drag, kick the red shot.
So we just drawing here, too?
Yeah.
That's our shot, probably, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you want to get another red one in there, Matt.
This is only there for one.
I mean, even if we get like ideally right here, right?
You're just getting right into here.
Yeah.
Middle?
Yeah.
You want to be beside the yellow.
Yeah, even a hair above it is fine.
Can't ever leave in that slash double.
Well, and that's the concern.
Even if you end up back tee.
The only thing that Matt does not want to do is to be in a position about here, because then for John Epping, that is how he can get access to that stone.
And a potential big score, maybe even 4.
Same as your draw the button speed, I think.
Draw to the button? Okay.
So, no more than that.
Okay.
The one thing about John Epping, though, Kathy, over the years and watching him, he does have the penchant for that crazy shot where he can pull something out of his hat. We've seen it many, many times before.
He loves the hero shot.
It's up there.
T-line.
Back tee.
Line's great.
Where is it?
Back button.
In a 5-5 tie,
great.
here is 7th final stone
Back 4.
for Matt Dunstone.
Back button.
Back 4.
Yep.
Back 4.
Back 4.
Almost back 8.
Whoa.
Oh, no.
And remember, you don't want to set up the
Gotta get
slash.
past it.
Yep.
Ooh, kiss on the yellow, right beside it, and shot stone still, Northern Ontario.
Perfect. 14-1.
And I think John is throwing this
Gonna
away.
whip it through.
Yeah.
There's no drag or angle that would work for.
Well, if you take away those 2 guards, which is what he was trying to do on the first, you could play the yellow on the right in the 8-foot, but he can't do that. And with the 2 other red stones, it's not worth risking if you ever move your own. And so you'll throw this away, but trying to find draw weight still.
Line's good.
Oh. We're close.
Oh, Tanner's in.
It's a little heavy. It's heavy. It's got a curl.
Can he curl in? And
I don't think it would curl enough, but he's got great effort at it. I don't know that he could have got enough to get a half of the lid, but he might as well throw at it.
He'll get a single. All those rocks in play for just the 1. Welcome back to the Okanagan Valley here in BC. As Kelowna, the 3rd largest metropolitan area in British Columbia. You got Vancouver, Victoria, and then, of course, right here in Kelowna. And a 6-5 advantage in our feature for Northern Ontario. Just the single, as you saw John Epping throw his final one away. So here in 8, it is Dunstone, the Red Rocks with hammer.
And I guess technically he didn't throw it away. We both agreed that there was really no or very low chance that he could ever get a piece of the lid. But instead of just throwing a peel through the house, you at least try to throw draw weight. He couldn't get himself into any trouble, and you have that confidence in what draw weight is. So making the most out of a situation where you're likely to only score 1.
And to your point, Kathy, right? He did chart a spot in the ice and threw a draw.
You bet.
You're always working. And also to your point, remember, a little unsure of his stones to start this game, right? Like unsure of a rock. I think he gave one down the lineup and then took that rock back as we start to look at some of the numbers. And my goodness, Ryan Harnden.
Well, both leads playing tremendously well, but that is a plus for Ryan Harnden. 7-point edge.
I like
Line's good.
Top 12. I'm staying there.
Ryan's one of those guys that just quietly goes about doing his business very effectively.
No. This ran really good. 15-3 on this.
Okay, it's definitely there.
Top 12, we're there.
Whoa.
Only Jake.
Whoa. Really good.
How about shot?
Shane Latimer calls Ontario home, the import for Nunavut out of the Iqaluit Curling Club. And it is a 5-3 advantage right now for Newfoundland and Labrador with 1 to come.
And it looks like he is already 2 as Tidalello looks on. A chance for 3. And we've shown on a number of updates he has really good weight control.
This time it's the out-turn draw on the way. One of these teams will pick up win number 1. In our feature, you see the big weight run back. It'll clip the stones in the house. As for the update, oh, nice touch, that little tap. And it'll be 3, and that's their first 3 of this year's Montana's Brier. And a 1-point lead after 8.
I was like, oh, not enough this time. Roll it right behind that corner. Yep. Almost.
Tanner playing the angle sideways to remove the Dunstone rock and also try to roll to the corner.
Whoa, straight.
There's the hit.
There's the roll behind the corner. That's pretty tidy right there.
We're like half on there.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
John Epping has this whole team on the same page about throwing quieter weights.
Well, John is a teacher, not only, back at the Granite Club, but he really talked to me, Kathy, about, club pros at every club across the country helping players, helping young players come up, working on your technicals all the way from the top. And with David Murdoch sort of leading that, John's been a big fan and proponent of that and giving players across Canada those tools. Much like a golf pro at your local club, a curling pro to help you out with your technicals as well.
Still tee. We're bumping it.
Okay.
Curl. Okay.
With last rock in this 8th end, Team Dunstone can take risk and leave stones around. Trying to make a perfect freeze in that pocket was the ideal. Get a jam from Northern Ontario and create your chance for 2. Oops, a little struggle with the landing gear.
Curl. Straight. Whoa. Straight. Whoa.
Whoa. I got the red.
Oh, you dog. Get way over. Okay.
The roll earlier on the right side takes away that corner guard, but they didn't want to be behind the other, and very little to choose between the thirds this morning because it gives Matt something to corner freeze with Colton.
And no plus available there right now as they're both very close at their respective position at third.
Little tight for line.
So far at every position, pretty close. No real edge to one or the other.
You're never off for line. Really got to go. Hard, Pete. Hard.
And they want to hold this line to ensure that they had a chance at second shot rock, and I'm not sure.
I believe it's red.
And another update here, Kevin Cooey, a 3-point advantage on the home province, BC, and Cam DeYoung.
Well, DeYoung kept trying to get things going, and he did actually have something going, but Cooey made a double on his final stone, and that is why Cam faces 4. This is the straight draw to the 4-foot.
14-5.
Very nice.
Ah, lovely. Finds the 4-foot and trails by 2 after 8.
All right. That's good.
Hard, looks light.
And trying to drag this one out in our feature for Jacob Horgan.
And it will be light.
Oh, shoot.
And the question is,
Know what you're seeing? Half rock, 10-5.
who's second? So
My
for
answer
Matt
is
to be
yeah.
playing the double, he would not be doing that if he were already
Yeah, it's
second.
tough one, Kath. I'm not sure.
Well, I think if Matt was confident he was second, he would have Colton hit and roll to the other side to split the stones, and he's not, so either he's not confident or he thinks that second stone belongs to Northern Ont.
And this one's really curling, trying to hold the angle for that roll across, and will it kiss it just a bit? Yeah, it will, and maybe that's enough for them to lie the two.
Well, even if it's not, that is a great shot, but it does look like it is too red.
Sorry.
Oh, great brushing by EJ. Look at his head right over the top of the stone. So much pressure to keep that stone straight.
Just, yeah.
I should give you the freeze again.
Yeah, I don't have. Okay.
You have, right?
Yeah.
You got her, man.
Ooh, hit what you can see.
And then the red should go, no? You get them both? Yellow onto red,
You might be able to, yeah.
Just solid board
One more
again.
update now. Over on sheet B, it's Carruthers, Manitoba, James Grattan, New Brunswick.
Well, there's a lot of half in the 8-foot. It does, for sure, 1, maybe 3 that he faces for James as we watch the run.
Oh, he got it.
What a
Stuck it
peach.
nicely. Reds disappear. Great shot, John Epping.
Now, for James Grattan, needs to stick. Doesn't have a lot of opportunity to roll very far.
Keep going.
Trying to
keep
make this
going.
curl.
It's sweet. It's sweet.
And the shooter
will stop.
Will stop. There you go.
And, well, I guess they're very confident about who was second shot. So it's 1 for sure. And I'm not sure.
Thanks for that, Kathy.
Yeah, it's
Good sweep, Andy.
We will update you when we know for sure.
Split the tee. Yeah.
what a wonderful shot by John Epping. There was not a lot of margin.
Like, I think if he's nosing, like if he's on the nose of it, I think you're slashing.
They got it all there.
Back in.
Love that.
Hold that.
Line's good.
Line's good.
It's really curling,
Yeah,
guys.
gotta go line. Line's good. Back in. Back tee.
Hard line.
Back tee.
Hard line.
And hard line to hold it to make sure they're shot rock, and they are.
Oh, thought he shoved that. Good wait, Matt.
Player comparisons are brought to you by New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada.
Well, there's no real dominance at any position, but you will see a plus here for Matt Dunstone with that 5 percentage points or better over John Epping. But I'm sure that for Matt, those are not the numbers he wants to see. Was 75 in his last game, 77. To win this event, you're going to see numbers in the 80s and 90s.
Well, last year in that final, Brad Gushu shot 97%. He was the MVP of the playoffs. Oh, my.
How about John?
Well done.
That's one way to do it.
Was
Lovely
the only way
slash.
to do
Yeah, that was a great shot.
I mean, what a great force.
He just, you know, he comes to the Brier, Kathy, and he's got the ability to make those shots. It's been fun to watch him over the years, and
that's a really tough shot out there in the wings. There's no chance there's been stones that far out. Sometimes those really drift. But well thrown. Needs 8 foot. Well, his numbers were much higher as an average at the Brier last year, and for Matt, certainly has room to go, but he's also played 2 very good games this week, an 85 and a 91 before these last 2 have been in the 70s.
14-3.
well, the 2 that out-curled him in 2024 last year were the guys that were in the final.
Shot, Matt.
Brad Gushu, Mike McEwen.
Nice weights.
Beautiful. Great game in our feature as we're all tied up. When we come back, Epping with Hammer here in Kelowna. The high guard being thrown from Ryan Harnden, and both touching that center line. So, of course, with the new rules, you cannot remove a stone till rock number 5 delivered in an end in a 6-6 tie. And you can see Ian McMillan is first there, top button. And one more to come as lead stones on the way here in this 9th end. And Kathy, it's been back and forth, some good shots. The 3 stands out for me, and 5 obviously. And, you know, full credit, Epping made a couple of good ones in that last end to make sure it was a force.
He's made some wonderful shots. That stone coming off the boards when no one has played out that far, you're just not really sure, but that was the only way to make the shot after Matt had made such a good shot.
Good judge, boy.
Nice shot.
Nice pair there from Ian.
Chisel that into the pocket. Okay, like T-line.
In a 6-5 lead for Nunavut, and one to come, though, for Ty Dudlello out of the Remax Center, St. John's Curling Club.
Well, Ty from Manitoba, and ironically enough, he and Ryan Weeb, who now plays third for Sam Moybrook, played together, could not find success. They both went their separate ways to different provinces. Ty now skipping this Newfoundland Labrador team, has an opportunity for 3 after a hit. It was attempted double by Latimer, did not work out. He hit 1 and rolled out, and so paint is what is needed for the 3rd point.
Line's good. Line's fine.
And that's how you rebound from giving 3.
Great draw weight.
Nice.
And now an 8-6 advantage for Newfoundland and Labrador.
Good bounce back, guys.
Yeah, good bounce back indeed.
Yeah. Hit it a bit. Just a bit. Whoa. Wait on me.
Yeah.
Trying to get to the inside.
Whoa.
Wait, top 8.
Whoa.
Line's good.
Top 8. Whoa. Whoa. It's heavy.
Doesn't want to bounce.
Okay.
It's a good shot.
Where was that weight?
You were back
on the nose.
And Matt does need to move these stones around. Both teams going very hard at each other. For John Epping, does not want to be forced here in 9. Looking to score multiple, and for Matt, he wants something to happen. He would love to steal one, but at a minimum wants to force John, and so you won't see a lot of hits from the Dunstone team.
Really gotta go.
Hard, Cole.
Really gotta go.
Hard.
Really gotta go, and they get it by the red guard. There's the tap.
Wait. Okay, good.
Just over curled. Matt really wanted to keep his shooter a little bit more to the right as you look at the stone that was just thrown, that it's something that he could use.
I didn't hear anything. He makes the run into the red.
So it's interesting, that little comment where Matt said, I didn't hear anything.
Want to call a timeout?
Yeah.
Chatting with him before the championship, Kathy, as Northern Ontario used a timeout and Mike Harris comes out. They've gone back to listen to games more to hear where they weren't communicating enough. As I'll be quiet now and listen to Northern Ontario communicate.
He does. Maybe he does. He does, doesn't he? Like if you guard and he makes this.
We can. Yeah.
That shot's like.
He goes there.
That's pretty good too.
Yeah, no, I'm saying if we peel the top one, he goes there.
Oh, I was thinking we go there.
Yeah. You're seeing?
I don't like guarding. Just never like guard my opponent's stones, right? But I think we could ever freeze one on the nose of the 7.
Yeah. Mike, do you ever freeze this?
Well,
They
I
have a
think
bit of this.
might leave it a little.
Yeah, and then he can get rid of 2 of our yellows.
What about
that way,
freezing
right?
low on the 4? Tough to get that tight, but
I just don't love him being able to
there.
get to this one.
He wants to go there with a top. Yeah.
I mean,
So
if you can get to the nose,
Do you like that
great.
freeze?
I do. That's my first thought.
Okay. Okay.
You don't really want to move the 3 red yet, right? I think that's
I'm
fine.
not seeing the peel because if he goes there, then It's like we still we got to
peeling. Like, sorry?
Like we can't peel anything. I don't.
No, because he's just going to blast it out. So.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. The spot seems to be pretty good right now.
Yeah.
Still make sure we score.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he just gave us, really.
So they'd like to be there, and the reason they want to be there is if they don't, they feel that Matt Dunstone is going to come down and tap, and all of a sudden they're going to be forced. The other shot they talked about is, do you go on this side? The problem with that is that if you go on that side and Matt ever loops around to here, now you've blocked your way to get to that stone. So you know what Matt wants to play. He wants to play the tap. So take it away, but take it away not by hitting something, but by being right on top of that yellow stone.
You know, John Epping played with Mike Harris. Not a lot, but back in 2007, and he said he learned a lot from Mike that season. And now all these years later, the fill-in coach for Jim Wilson.
T. Get your knife ready, if anything.
T.
Coming down.
Yep. Easy. Whoa, we got room.
Okay. Knife, if anything.
Close. No, we're good. We're good. Whoa. It's a never.
Sit.
Okay.
Right on the nose. Oh, it's just heavy. Sorry, guys.
It's pretty close. We're now talking about millimeters of perfection. He wanted to get just a little bit more finish.
Watch that here, so I'd like peel.
And so Colton going to blow this situation up. No good angles for Matt. Would love to force, but not force Epping to 4.
Well, here comes the Kelowna Rocket.
Clean. Yep.
Here in 9 in a 6-6 tie. Colton Lott. Just by the high guard, bangs yellows, so everything moving, but 2 remain there for Northern Ontario.
He caught the red one first. It seemed impossible that was possible. Watch where he hits the stones in the house. Just by.
Oh. Nothing's come easy this morning for Matt Dunstone's team. So an opportunity now. Jacob Horgan to put on a little pressure. Remember, hammer does belong to Team Epping here in 9.
Weight's good.
Whoa.
Line only.
Yeah.
Top button. T-line.
Knife.
Stay close.
Yeah. Knife.
Always knife.
A knife to get that curl.
Get her moving.
Get her going.
Oh, and look at it go.
Get her going. We got to get her low.
You talked about the strength of Tanner and the work he's done.
Okay.
And for now, they do line the 3.
He's just trying to have that stone underneath so that Matt would not have access to it with Colton.
How much do you? Yeah.
Is that smart?
He can get all 3 going here.
Yeah, that's fine.
With the weight he can throw. In the meantime, Kevin Cooey, Team Alberta, leading by 2, and Kevin has hammer here, 1 to come.
Well, the shot stone thrown on his final by Cam DeYoung to go around with the in-turn to get buried. And for Kevin, with looking at that ice, it looks like this is a tap on the angle to get the red stone out, chance for 2.
You see Colton touched them all in her feature. 1 goes. It is for now, shot stone, Dunstone.
Hard. Whoa.
As Carrick Martin, the scrub, him and Tyler Tardy on the brush. There's the tap. How far can they move it? And far enough for the single. So a little more cushion going to 10. They lead by 3, and Cameron DeYoung will have hammer coming home. And back to our feature, you saw the big weight ability from Colton Lott, but a chance to answer back here for Northern Ontario. You want to flip in here a bit, Kathy, or on the nose?
Oh, you don't really want to create a wall. You want to roll, ideally, I think, that for John Epping to the outside, not create a pocket that Matt Dunstone could draw into.
Whoa. I'm going to roll a little. Yeah.
So a tiny roll. And is the triple there?
It is.
Yeah.
Right there.
This will be coming at some speed.
Man, if Dunstone can
Fifth
ever
half.
find a way
Yeah.
to force Northern Ontario here. You heard the final comment after that timeout from Mike Harris was, hey, John, let's make sure you find a way to score here. And obviously he meant score your 2.
Well, and it's still a higher percentage. If you are 1 up without, you are still statistically far more likely to win than trailing. So you don't want to give up. That is for sure. I would love to blank at this point, but you do not want to give up a point.
Facing 3. His first year in 9. Matt Dunstone. 1, 2, 3, all moving, and some magic from Matt Dunstone, and he needed it in 9.
Such a good hitter. Had the opportunity with the angles. Great throw.
Never hitting and rolling.
I talked to EJ last night, Kathy, about, you know, what makes a championship team, and he said, when we don't have our best stuff, and you can sense they've been frustrated.
Yes.
They've had some misses. It's
Yes.
not really going their way. But can you win those games? Can you find a way to win those games when you're not at your best?
And so for John is not looking to roll under at all. Would love to even roll a little bit as a biter. Force Matt to chase.
Hard! Hard! Right to it! Right to it!
Hit. Sweep in.
Wow, they're going to go straight draw.
Sweet, just light on you.
Honestly, pretty.
So they got the 2 high guards. That's why they threw them, obviously, to try and
To make him
force.
go deeper.
And this is all about analytics, knowing what happens when your opponent scores. They don't want to have a blank, and this is the best way to make sure it's not.
And that's all. Caleb Flaxey, who's great at that stuff, the analytics side of the game. Update time again. Carruthers, Grattan, Sheet B.
Well, for Reed Carruthers, trying to hit it on the broom side, make the double and bring multiple points into play.
Curl. Curl.
How massive would a 4-0 start be for Reed Carruthers? Bang, bang. Yellows are moving, but that shooter flies out. He will get the 1.
1 red.
And a 2-point advantage. Grattan with hammer, down by 2 coming home. Back to our feature. Without hammer, final stone here at 9 for Matt Dunstone.
Line. Line's great.
Line's good. Yep.
T.
Little tight. Line's
Can
little
he find
tight.
a way
Right.
to
Too low.
force John
Oh,
Epping?
that's too deep. Just here.
Well, if
We
you're
are.
around and you force John to draw, if he can't pick it out, then you've achieved your goal. Oh, that just
hit
stopped
the
in a
brakes.
hurry.
Top 4.
Oh, pick.
Yeah.
Have picked at the end.
And I think that it might have hurt Dunstone. I mean, if that would have came in, it would have curled the titch more, making this shot a little
Just
tougher.
nothing left out here.
13-8 on it.
Well, and it's also why you stay with the stone right to the very end. We'll watch as this rock comes in.
Stop.
Like, brakes. Just stopped.
It's out of 6.
So they know it's heavy. And it does come to a complete halt. So chasing it for the 2.
In a 6-6 tie, great opportunity.
Yep. Good. Yep.
Here in 9, final stone, John Epping.
It's good. Curl. Curl. Curl.
Curl. Curl.
Hard.
Go, go, go. Come on.
Need to
Curl.
carve this over. Ian McMillan. Move it enough.
Heavy. Too much weight.
Oh, man, and he'll go right by. And who saw that coming? After all that, the pressure by Epping. And forget the force, it's a steal of 1. Epping will have hammer coming home in 10. Welcome back to our Brier coverage here, as we are just after 11 a.m. local time in our feature game, a 7-6 advantage for Dunstone. Northern Ontario down by 1 with hammer coming home. Kathy, I don't know if I saw that one on the bingo card there in 9.
No, that was back-to-back oddities between Matt Dunstone. They're saying it's got to stop, and all of a sudden it picks up something and dies. And then John Epping just overthrowing that last stone, not making contact, and a steal. And now huge advantage for Team Dunstone, being up 1 in 10.
No each.
And we saw Ryan's numbers earlier in the high 90s, and look at that. He puts 2. Oh, did maybe come off the center line. The broadcaster's jigs again, of course. .96% for Ryan Harnden.
Just terrific numbers. Our comment just now was because his higher guard is off the center line. If John Epping wanted to play the tick shot, he could, but he's playing hard for 2.
Distance curl.
Distance curl.
Jake, you maybe, no. Yeah, Jake, join in.
Help. I got hard boys. I'm here for you.
Papa John steps in there for some rushing.
I guess it did get there. You're right.
You like the intern or the outer? Okay.
Great finish on this ice.
Yeah.
And no frost, Kathy. You haven't seen, you've called each and every game, and you haven't seen it creeping at all.
Not at all. And I did hear from Greg that they have now put in the 4th and final dehumidifier.
Line's great.
And he expects that by tonight there won't be any, but I don't see any this morning.
See line? Oh, real.
Play the way.
Colts rock. Back. Colts rock and go. Colt go.
And it is been a huge operation, and so huge shout out to the whole Ice Tech crew led by Greg Owasco and the volunteers that got literally roped in to hanging some of this. So there you see, they are pulling the humidity out of the air and returning fresh air into the building, and the combination of the two are removing the frost, but it's all woven underground where we come in, and that was quite a mammoth undertaking.
Whoa. Weight's good. Weight's good. I thought real close.
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta go. Hard. Gotta go for line.
Hard. Yes. Hard. Yes.
Gotta go. Hard all the way, Jake. Yep.
Yep.
Yep, keep going.
Yep. Bounce this thing a bit.
You gotta bounce it.
Bounce it. Bounce it. Bounce it.
Bounce it. Bounce it.
And a little kiss there. Still Shotstone, Dunstone on that Montana's button.
And for Epping, he doesn't need to be shot now. He just needs to have enough rocks in play to score 2, or at least 1.
Good speed.
Good speed here.
Yep.
Top 12. Max line right now. Tight. Only go if you're not here.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead. Line's great. Tight.
Hard, Colt.
Hard. Top 2/3. Hard, Colt.
Hard, Colton.
Hard, Colt. You gotta get past this.
Hard.
Whoa.
Hard.
Oh.
Okay, not bad. Yeah.
And our updates continue. Kathy, Nunavut, Newfoundland, and Labrador.
Well, he's trying to make the triple because he needs to count 2, Shane Latimer does. So he's trying to catch enough of the yellow behind to scooch those 2 out sideways, have the one that he's going to hit come through the middle and stick around for 2.
Okay.
And Shane Latimer will not.
Good game, guys.
And that'll be handshakes.
Hey, bud. Good luck.
So win number 1 for Ty DeLillo and his team out of St. John's.
Good game.
Good game. Yeah.
First win. Yeah.
Good try.
Final score 10-6. So they are now 1-2, and Nunavut falling to 0-3 at this year's Brier.
That was a clean one.
That's a pretty big moment.
Yeah, your first win at the Brier. Congratulations to them.
Clean. Yep. Clean. Low. Clean. Curl. Gotta make sure we kill this one. Clean. Straight. Whoa. Hard again. That's good. Thought we were playing our red. No, we were playing the yellow.
And you know what, Kathy? You've heard that a lot. I thought we were playing this. No, weren't we playing this? And I guarantee you that this may be one of the games they come back and they watch to talk about the lack of communication on certain little points in the game.
I think both coaches could do that. Honestly, we've heard some great examples of communication, but I think that is an Adam and a Mike Harris for this week in the absence of Jim's job, is to talk about communications. And you can't do it sometimes and sometimes not, because especially with ice that curls as hard as this is, the person in the house, be it third or skip, needs to really understand the weight that's coming at them to be able to get the most out of a shot.
Well, that's what Matt Dunstone told me before this championship. That's what they've really worked at, is actually watching games, not necessarily, you know, for strategy, which they could anyways. They could do that as well. But more, where do we break down here?
Yes.
Where were there moments in the game where maybe we missed out on making a shot because we weren't talking?
And you talk less when you're frustrated, you talk less when you're losing, but those kinds of practices have to happen whether you're in the beginning of the game, the middle, or the end, whether you're up or down. They're just really important habits to not break.
Whoa, whoa. Curl. Heavy. Curl. 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 Curl.
Oh, got to get to the inside.
Hard. No roll. Hey. Okay, Cole.
And now it's time. With that stone being in the open, you hit and roll to the wings, you start to create the deuce opportunity.
Wait. Just control. Yep. Just control. Yep.
Yes! Yes!
Great opportunity here. Jacob Horgan. Can he roll it behind that corner? A little flip and pretty flat double.
But it's there.
Planting this. Timeout.
And Dunstone will use a timeout.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
And we talked about it. You know, it's special, Kathy. Your first ever win. Ty DeLello and his team and family, friends. It takes a village, doesn't it? And this is really cool.
It's terrific. There's lots of support from this team. Ty's stepfather, Mike Mahan, a curler in his own right, he brought him here from Winnipeg as their coach. And so lots of family and friends are here to cheer this team on.
That's great.
Intern 2/3. I think I can at least push this to here.
And you know what?
And, like,
a chance to maybe play at home in
Where's
St.
he
John's
go
next
where we
year.
don't
You never
have
know.
some sort
Well,
of
that's
run
the
double
dream.
Or a straight plant. Yeah. Like, where does he go? Like, even if we make that, it's really good.
Yeah. That might be the best play. Like, you get the roll right into it. It's kind of like the draw to there, right?
And even if we push it to here, so be it.
Yeah.
When it comes in, tries to play top, and you always got this.
Then we have this. I think so.
Yeah, I like it.
So even if we miss this, I'm going to have something good here.
Yeah, we're going to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go, man. 2/3?
I think 2/3, even if we go like this.
Yep. Skip
So,
that ice right.
a couple of options. Initially, their thought was, can we do this? But it is very flat, and if this rock hangs around at all, you're giving up the deuce and the win. So this is now, the call is to play the hit and roll in this area, and even if that yellow stone is shot, you're really reducing the opportunities for John Epping to score too. So he's got a couple of options. You can expect Colton will call the audible. This is the hit and roll, but if it's hanging out, you can expect that Colton will go to plan B.
You talked about comfort. You have the brothers are back, and Colton and Matt like brothers. Their junior years. Skip Stones here in 10. First for Matt Dunstone. This is a missile down the ice. Bang it, roll it. Both moving, and he can't quite move it far enough. That is still second shot rock. but he does have shot stone back button.
And that was the risk of playing that. We talked about that. If that yellow stone, the second one, because it's so flat, does not go out of the house, is there an opportunity for 2?
In the nose, then we go to the back 4.
I mean, you had to throw that, Kathy. That was pretty flat, and Matt can chuck it. I mean,
that time then, right?
he's one of the guys that has that weapon.
So Matt is shot, but for John Epping, will play the double.
And a chance the shooter should touch a little bit of paint if he's successful. His first gear in 10.
Close, curl. Curl, curl. Curl, curl. Whoa, curl.
John Epping trying to answer back with a double. Bang it, run it back, and he's got them both. What a shot from John Epping to lie 2 here in 10.
Well done.
Good shot, John. Oh, boy, Johnny. Good throw.
That's why you throw 9 seconds. So you can carve it.
Nice shot.
So as Dunstone settles in, we can update you now. Carruthers, Grattan, 10th end.
Well, and this is for Reed Carruthers to get rid of the stones that belong to James Grattan. James does have last rock, but it is a process of elimination for Reed Carruthers.
Meantime, in our feature, Matt Dunstone has to be shot rock, trying to find a place to hide.
Very nice. Add 4. Well, I guess you don't add any because James never got to throw.
So out of rocks, so Reed Carruthers 4-0. What a great start for him out of Manitoba. And Matt Dunstone will reset. So right now, you can see the 2 yellows in the house for Northern Ontario. Dunstone has to be shot stone and wants to be in the rings here. Where can he go, Kathy? Where does he want to put this?
Well, he doesn't want to set up the same angle that he just had because the stone that John Epping hit and ran in is still completely open for a run back.
Line's great. Back 4. Back button.
So they want to be deep enough that the run back's difficult.
Get it back here. We got to cross center. Never off.
We're back there.
Just go. Go, 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 go. Hard Pete. Keep going.
No.
Run it back, stick it, score your 2, get the win.
And no discussion about playing the draw on this. You do not want to be tied and go the extra end without hammer. You've got the opportunity to essentially replicate what you just threw for the win.
What more can you ask for? He's never beaten Matt Dunstone. Head-to-head matchups at the Brier. And a chance here. 94% on his hits today.
Whoa.
Final stone in 10. He's got to run it back and stick it for the win. Epping, bang it, stick it, got it for a big victory here in Kelowna.
Wow, what a great shot to win this game. John Epping is playing probably better than I have seen him play in years. He's got comfort from the team in front of him.
Good luck.
Get that monkey off our back.
There it is, first ever win. Papa John, as they call him, with a clutch shot. He made the first one, Kathy, and he sticks the second one as well.
Well called by Jake. Great throw by John. And finally, they've beaten Matt Dunstone.
And Kathy, the head-to-head win. The celebration. You know, he said he kind of hit a curling low the last couple of years, but he's back on that high. He loves being a mentor and a leader to this team, and he knocked off one of the favorites. 8-7 the final, and he owns the head-to-head tiebreaker now against Matt Dunstone.
Well, and it all is not lost for Matt. There's lots of event to go. But for this team, the front 5, they struggled a little bit with the line and the weight combination. They will be better next time out.
And another final, Kevin Cooey could not afford another loss as he does win 8-5, beating the host province BC. So that's win number 1 for Cooey here at the Brier in Kelowna. Great game in our feature. Couple lovely stones from John Epping. We'll step aside and wrap up our coverage next.
The 2025 Montana's Brier is presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar, proudly Canada's home for barbecue since 1995. By Kruger Products, the softest and strongest supporters for over 40 years. By BKT Tires, growing together. And by PointsBet, the official sportsbook and casino partner of Curling Canada.
The game story is brought to you by Montana's Barbecue and Bar, proudly Canada's home for barbecue since 1995.
Well, in the ninth end, John Epping let Matt Dunstone back in the door after going around, and John, just that little bit heavy, went by the outside. But two wonderful doubles by John Epping in 10 for the win. Huge story. Both of the numbers of the skips would not be where they want them to be. Struggled with ice and broom position in the first 5, but came back strong in the second half.
You know, he said he's been elevated again. He's high on the curve when it comes to loving the game. And you check the standings now. Carruthers improves to 4-0. Gushu had the bye, 3-0, but Epping jumps up to 3-1. And if it ended right now in Pool A, Epping would be in because he's got the head-to-head win against Dunstone. And of course, we'll focus on Pool B later on this afternoon. Jacobs, McEwen, the only undefeated teams, and it is Felix Asselin out of Quebec, a 2-1 record, taking on Mike McEwen out of Saskatchewan. He made the final last year. He's trying to get back there as well. Vic Rauter, Russ Howard, Joanne Courtney, Kathy Gauthier, our entire crew will have you covered as the Montana's Brier continues here from Kelowna. Oh, look at us having a good time. Unbelievable stuff there. How did that make it a show? Monday morning, Kathy, we've had it all. John Epping, 2 great shots. He was clutch. He gets the win. And that's what it's all about, the tankard, right here on TSN.